Welcome, Chituga once again. It's a beautiful Sunday and the beginning of a brand new week. A week of possibilities, a week of improving your financial earnings, a week of improving your character, improving your emotional disposition, and improving your relationship with society. If you are in River State, you are aware that there was local government elections yesterday. You may also be aware that voters turnout was low. I know because I participated in the election. In my polling unit, there are two other polling units. So unit 005, 006, and 007, all of Ward 3, Obiapo local government area. And at the time I was there, only I was the registered voter. Only I casted my votes before I left the premises. I haven't seen the results or what has been announced or the breakdown for that particular polling unit. But I know that there was a success. The success is the success of the narrative that your votes don't count. This is what I've been trying to tell you all this while. It's good that it happened during the local government election. Let it serve as a teaser. If you choose not to participate in the political process, in the electoral process, the process will continue and the winner will emerge. If you choose to participate, if you do participate in the electoral process, you alter the dynamics, you bring in more variables, and the process is not as predictable or not under the thumb of one man. Yesterday, my conversations with persons, and it doesn't matter who that person is, young, old, politically inclined or not, the view was simple. Our votes won't count. And you are correct, probably. Especially in a state-conducted election, the local government election. You are probably correct. But the issue now is the mindset endures, and the politician hopes that you abide by that narrative, especially in the coming elections in 2027. They pray that you abide by that narrative, that your votes means nothing. They pray you stay at home so those ballot papers can be done printed. You see, what you should understand is that the narrative sets up the atmosphere for the conduct of the elections. The narrative determines how, if, when, where rigging will be conducted. The narrative is the lifeblood of politics, and the narrative that your votes will not count won yesterday. If it wins in 2027, it will be a tragedy. That your votes do not count is not based on what the other person does, because they will always try to do. It is heavily reliant on how you react. Because if you keep at home and do not engage in the political process, that vacuum you left will be filled. That vacuum you left has left the opening for the manipulation. So the more of us that stay at home and do not involve ourselves in the process, the many more the more the opportunity to manipulate the electoral process. And it keeps compounding, and it keeps compounding, and it keeps compounding. Our savior is yourself. Yours truly. Coming to the realization that there are many messiahs and it starts with you. I am not asking you to risk limb, to engage in fights, or to insult anybody. What I am asking for is that you participate in the electoral process. The opportunity has come. The continuous voters registration exercise has commenced. I plead with you, my fellow citizen, register to vote. I will leave a link for the continuous voters registration exercise in the comments. Please register to vote. Don't be mindful of the narrative that your votes do not count. If it did not count, politicians would not bother approaching you. They would not bother trying to influence your perception, but it does count. It counts because if you stay at home, you are counted out. If you are involved, they have to consider other means. I do hope that you see that you have no savior other than yourself, that it is your well-being that equals Nigeria's success. I do hope that you do not give up on yourself, because to give up on Nigeria is to give up on yourself. That should not be the case. If that is the case, I ask you review your decision. Thank you for listening. I urge you to register to vote, to change your PVC, and pay attention to the political narrative. The most important narrative, as far as you are concerned, is your welfare and security, your well-being, your economic interest, the dignity of your human person. Nobody will use food to make shakara for you or entice you, because food is a right as a human being. But all that depends on the steps you take from today. The continuous voters registration exercise link is in the comments. I will post it there. Please, I urge you to go there, click on it, do whatever necessary updates you need to, and eventually visit the physical office. Thank you for listening. Have a lovely Sunday and a beautiful week ahead. Take care.